I'll record after.
All right.
Good morning, everyone. We're gonna start our lesson now. So, science group.
Wait, Joyce, can you share your screen? Okay, yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, welcome to the first lesson of this year. So we're going to be going over some icebreakers first, so everyone can participate in chat, or you can unmute yourselves, and then all of the teachers can also like say their opinion about it. So next slide. Oh, also we have a YouTube channel of all the past recordings, which you guys can go look at and learn more about the subjects. So the first icebreaker, what is your favorite song or album? So if anyone can, feel free to like unmute or type it in chat, any of your favorite artists, like music artists recently.
What is your favorite song? It can be in Nepalese or English. It can be like from any country. Feel free to type that in the chat. Okay, Sabin. Yeah, same. Well, I never heard of that. I might check that out.
All right, should we get to the next one? Okay, so do you like reading? And if yes, what is your favorite book? I think some classics are probably like Harry Potter and like Percy Jackson, I guess. I know Percy Jackson's getting like a TV series soon, so that's exciting. If you're reading anything in school too, if you like any of them, you can put them in the chat. And the storybooks are nice, you know. It's fun if you write too. You can use your creativity and write a lot of characters and envision a bunch of stuff. Okay, next one. Oh, and last thing, I think, what is a topic that you're curious to learn about? So I know today we're doing bio and chem and pop culture. So if you guys are interested about learning anything about in these subjects, you can always like comment them in the chat. And I think next week is physics and astronomy and history. So if you guys have any ideas that you want to learn about for those ones, you can also comment them and we can let them know. Are there any like specific technology stuff you want to learn about?
All right. Who would like to volunteer to speak up? Hmm. All right, I'm gonna call on one of you. Um, Manisha, did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Hello. So what is a topic that you're curious to learn about? It could be like anything academic, anything cultural, with anything anything that is like related to life in general.
Me.
Yeah. There's no like right or wrong answer. We're all just trying to share some information about ourselves.
About technologies.
Sorry, can you repeat that louder? All right then. How about Govinda? Are you here?
First picture is about technology, and then second is also science, maybe.
Oh, oh wow. What type of technology do you find rather interesting?
Like hacking, editing, and there are the social media also.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
First one is like you know uh, social media, and then
Oh,
video
social
editing,
media. Oh,
and
social
then
media video editing.
and
Do
then
you do?
other
Sorry.
economic also here. So, and then
Economics?
yeah,
Huh.
and then AI also, artificial intelligence also,
Ah, that's
and then
cool.
video game, and then nah, the capital.
Hmm. Yeah, I actually do a lot of technology stuff too. Anyone else here interested in technology learning? Like, I don't know, game design, AI stuff.
Uh, I'm also interested.
Sorry, Govinda, can you finish saying what you were saying?
What?
Were you saying something?
Yeah, I'm also interested in
I
this
see.
topic.
I see. That's really cool. You should, I guess, do you do programming? Things like that? Coding? They're like pretty useful tools to get involved with technology nowadays. I'm sure there are other technology enthusiasts here, right? Anyone interested in technology? Anyone else interested in technology? Want to share their experience?
There are also cryptocurrency also.
Sorry? Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
Oh, cryptocurrency. Yeah, so like Bitcoin, blockchains, those kind of stuff. That's really cool. I yeah, I don't know how well cryptocurrency is doing nowadays, but like I heard that cryptocurrency is a very promising job market. It makes you a lot of money if you're interested.
Maybe.
AI and cryptocurrency, that is like the money maker of the 21st century. All right. Thank you,
Okay, so
Govinda.
we get
Sorry?
started then.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so for today's topic in science, we're going to be doing an introduction to cells, and we can elaborate more on that in future lessons. And for pop culture, they'll be doing popular songs. So once again, for science, we're going to be doing cells. And a little introduction about cells. They were discovered in 1665 by a scientist called Robert Hooke, and they're the smallest living unit in all organisms. So basically all living things are made up of cells. And they're so small that you have to be able to magnify them in order to be able to see them. And different cells perform different functions. So there are two main categories of cells, eukaryotic and prokaryotic. And their only similarity is that they both contain a cell membrane and cytoplasm, which both will be explained in the later slides. And so first, eukaryotic cells are seen in the left of the picture, and these can include plants, animals, and fungi. And they are bigger and more complex than prokaryotic cells, which are in the right of the picture, the green ones. And so they have a nucleus, which is the genetic material or the DNA of the cell, which is protected in the membrane. And they contain organelles in the cytoplasm as well. And so for prokaryotic cells, they include bacteria, and they're small and a simple cell with no nucleus, unlike the eukaryotic. So once again, the nucleus is the genetic material and the floating in the side genetic material. So instead of having a nucleus confined, their genetic material is floating around in the cytoplasm. And so some prokaryotic cells have flagella, which you can see on the right picture, which is the two extensions of the cells. And so it allows it to move. And they actually lack organelles except for the ribosome. And I think the next slide is just a small review about what I covered.
Prokaryotic cells. The main characteristic of prokaryotic cells is that DNA
Oh, is everyone able to hear the audio? Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
genetic material, is floating in the cytoplasm instead of being stored in the nucleus. Bacteria are prokaryotic cells. The cytoplasm is a thick solution found inside the membrane. Organelles are located in the cytoplasm. The membrane is a layer that surrounds the cell. Membranes structure and protect the cell from the outside environment. They also allow food in and release waste substances. The nucleoid is the part of cell where DNA is found. DNA is formed by genes which store the genetic information of a living being. The flagellum is found in some prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. It's a lash-like appendage which allows a cell to move. Sperm cells, for example, move via flagella. Eukaryotic.
Okay, so now we'll talk roughly about some parts of the cell. And so this is roughly the general structure of a eukaryotic cell. And since this is only a general diagram, so there are also some other organelles in certain types of cells that are not on this diagram. And there are also some types of some cells that do not have all these components. So for example, plant cells don't have lysosomes, and we will also be going a little more into detail about that later. Okay. So first, starting with the nucleus. So this is like the center of the cell. So it controls activities like growth, reproduction, and so on. So many other important activities. And it contains DNA, genetic material. And so in the center of the cell here is the in the center of the nucleus here is the nucleolus. And the nucleolus's job is to produce ribosomes. So this is the mitochondria, and mitochondria is the plural form and mitochondrion is the singular form. And so the mitochondria's task is to break down food molecules and turn it into energy, ATP, which is an acronym for adenosine triphosphate, and then for the cell, and it uses cellular respiration to be able to do this. And since the mitochondria supplies most of the cell's the energy that the cell needs to carry out its processes, it's also commonly referred to as the powerhouse of the cell. And so next are ribosomes. So as previously mentioned, it is produced by the nucleolus, and its job is to translate mRNA or messenger RNA from the nucleus, and it uses this information to make proteins.
So the next is endoplasmic reticulum. So it is the largest organelle in the cell and its major site of protein synthesis and transport protein folding lipid stereosynthesis. And the Golgi apparatus is the protein comes from rough endoplasm reticulum and package protein in verso before going to their final destination. And the next is cell membranes. So cell membranes is found in cells and separate the interior of the cell from the outside environment. The cell membranes consist of a lipid layer that is semi-permeable and cataplasm is the gelatinous liquid that fills the inside of a shell that is made of water, cell, and organic molecules that keeps everything in place inside a cell. And some intercellular organelles, such as the molecules and mitochondria, are enclosed by membranes that separate from the cataplasm.
So next we're going to be going over similarities between both animal and plant cells. So first, both of them are eukaryotic cells, which means they have common organelles like cell membrane, cell nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, and Golgi apparatus. So starting with animal cells, they are different from plant cells in which they have centrosomes, which are two barrel-shaped clusters of microtubules, and there are complex proteins which help additional microtubules to form. They importantly regulate cell motility in the interface. Then we have lysosomes, which contain digestive enzymes which break down excess or worn out parts. They also destroy invading viruses and bacteria. For plant cells, they have cell walls, chloroplasts, plastids, and the large central vacuole. So the cell wall defends the cell from pathogens and it supports plant growth. Chloroplast is where the photosynthesis process takes place, which helps sustain life on Earth. The plastids manufacture and store food and also traps solar energy. And finally, the large central vacuole stores water and maintains turbo pressure.
So now we'll be reviewing with a song, and also at this time, if anyone has any questions, you can leave it in the chat or feel free to speak up as well.
Here's what a cell contains. Outer layer is the cell membrane. It controls what goes in and out. Cell gets energy from source of mitochondria, also known as the powerhouse. In the ribosomes of the cell with protein synthesis, endoplasmic reticulum will carry substances, breaking down materials, lysosomes. The nucleus controls the cell, kinda like a brain contains the DNA when cells divide to replicate. It sets a nuclear membrane full of hormones. Makes vital supposed units from proteins secreting hormones are the Golgi bodies. Each unit of a cell is an organelle. The membrane keeps substances out inside cell filled with cytoplasm. Lysosomes help break things down. Energy from mitochondria, protein factories, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum. Transfer substances like proteins, please controls me. Cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus, ER and Golgi body, and the nucleolus. Cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus, ER and Golgi body, and the nucleolus. Look at a plant cell. They have a few different organelles, chloroplasts, vacuoles, and the cell wall. Chloroplasts take the sun in, convert to food through photosynthesis. Large vacuoles to food, water, and waste. Cell wall is the outer, rigid cellulose as the protector. It provides structure to the cell. Cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus, ER and Golgi body, and the nucleolus. Cell membrane, mitochondria, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasm, nucleus, ER and Golgi body, and the nucleolus.
And I think that is all from science group. So again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. And if not, I will let pop culture present their screen. Do anyone have any question for what we learn about the cell, about animal cell or plant cell? If we have any, feel free to speak out now or put that in the chat. Okay, so now we'll start our pop culture. Feel free to still put in any question you have about biology group because our teacher was still staying here. If you have any questions. And pop culture group, feel free to share slides now. Leo, Conan, Juliana, do one of you want to share the screen?
I can share it.
Okay, thank you.
So next will be for pop